your fingers. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our series for January, Grounded Strength. I'm so glad that you're joining us. For today's practice, we'll need a mat, of course. And if you have a blanket to pad the knees, especially if you're on a hard surface, that could be helpful for you. A strap would be really helpful today. Or if you have a small table, a ledge that's very sturdy, or a piece of furniture that's about shoulder level, so you can do something like this. Have that nearby. And then, of course, always have some blocks handy. So if you don't have blocks, grab a couple of books that you can stack up, or maybe you have some really firm pillows. We'll work around it if you don't have them, so don't worry about it. But grab what you have, set your space, and let's begin. Okay, so we're actually going to start in a seated position today. So finding what feels comfortable in your seat. Maybe it's cross-legged. Maybe it's taking more of a Sukhasana position like this. Maybe you're sitting up on a blanket. Just what allows the pelvic bowl to begin to open, the hips to drop down. And honestly, what I find most important is feeling that strong connection between the sit bones and what's beneath you. So you can really ground here. And as you begin to let the energy settle down, see if you can find some length through the spine, lifting through both sides of the body, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, and chin just gently moves in so it's not fully touching the chest. Taking a few deep breaths here and just allowing every part of you to arrive in this space, arrive in this moment. And just acknowledging what's present. So noticing how the body feels, noticing any sensations that are present in the body today. Just taking loving notes for what you'll need to be aware of in your practice today. Noticing how the mind feels busy, dull, foggy, clear. No right or wrong, no good or bad, just becoming aware of this so you can work with it in your practice. Noticing if any waves of emotion are present. Irritation, frustration. Good. And one way that we can begin to create some space from judging this is giving it an elemental quality. So does my mind feel fiery? Does it feel earthy? Does it feel watery? Does it feel airy or spacey? And we can do the same thing with the body and the emotions. Good. Settling, integrating. And let's just take a moment here to place the hands at heart center, drawing our energy into this wisdom space, allowing our practice to be an unfolding from this space. And if there is a particular intention or anchor word that you want to carry into your practice today, honor that now. Good. Staying steady in the seat, lifting the gaze, opening the eyes, and bringing the hands to the shins. So we're going to begin with seated cat-cow today. Inhale, opening the heart. Exhale, drawing in, rounding the spine. Inhale, lengthening the spine, lifting the heart. Exhale, drawing in, release the neck. Inhale, open, expand. Exhale, round, draw in. And I recommend starting nice and slow, gently allowing the body to warm up, the spine to warm up. No need to pull a muscle or yank or force anything. And as you continue this movement and the body begins to warm up, to melt, to open, then you can play with picking up the pace. And only if it feels good, if it feels expansive, if it feels like you're taking yourself into a deeper practice. Good. Let's do 5 more cycles on our own, at our own pace. Beautiful. And as you finish up, just come back to a neutral spine, hands face down, palms down on the lap, just allowing the lower body to ground and settle. Good. And opening the eyes, and we'll take some hip circles. So I'm moving to the left first, taking 3 big hip circles to the left. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. And once you arrive at 3, just switch directions. 3 big hip circles the opposite way. And feel free to sigh out, make noise, express during your practice. Can release energy and come back to our neutral center. Good. And then just finding a steady seat once more. If you'd like to, you can switch the cross of your legs, even that out in the hips. We'll bring the hands to the shoulders. So we're going to do some shoulder rotations, begin to open up the shoulders today. So you'll inhale left, exhale right. If this posture doesn't work for you, you can always take goalpost arms and swing like this, or keep the arms out straight if you've got enough space. Just make sure you know what's around you so you're not whacking anything with your arms. So taking the position that works best for you, and then we'll inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Good. Moving at this pace with the breath. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. And just finding a rhythm, a meditative flow that feels good in your body today. So you may slow down, you may speed up. The point here is really just to begin to open up through the side bodies, to open up through the shoulders. Eyes can be closed, eyes can be gazing down toward the floor. Feel free to move the neck with the arm motions, or just keep the neck steady, especially if you feel dizzy. Three more. And then find yourself back at center. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale, sigh it out. Good. Now we're just going to stretch a little bit deeper into the shoulders by inhaling, lifting the arms, elbows move toward one another. Exhale, shoulders come down to parallel. Inhale, lifting the elbows toward one another. Exhale, elbows out to a T. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Moving a little slower here. Good. Just opening the shoulders from another angle. 2 more. And last one, inhale, lifting, and exhale, elbows come back to parallel. And then we'll drop the hands, and let's just take an inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, clear it out. Palms, fingertips come back to the mat. Good. A couple more stretches before we begin to really move into our grounded strength class for today. So you can keep the legs in an easy cross-legged position like this, or if you want to get a little more juice out of the pose, keep the right leg down, step the left leg over, so you're in a bit of a twist in the lower body. And then we're going to inhale through the left arm, and as you swing the right arm around, bend the elbow so the palm is facing upward. Let me show you what that looks like. Left arm is up, right arm swings around, elbow bends. And so we've got this position with the right arm, and then the left elbow bends, and the fingertips may or may not meet one another. So maybe the fingertips clasp, maybe you've just got fists on your back, or maybe you're holding on to a strap or a belt or a towel to keep your arms in this position. So taking a moment to set this up for yourself, grounding into the sit bones, inhaling, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, drawing the ribs, the front ribs toward the spine so that we're not just dipping into the back. And breathing here, extending through that top elbow, drawing down through the bottom elbow. And if the fingertips meet or you've got a strap or something to hold you steady, you can place the back of your head into the crease of that left elbow for a little bit more extension. Again, only if it feels good, only if it feels like you're going into a juicier, deeper, more expansive aspect of your practice. If it feels painful or like it's contracting, just back off. One more breath here. And then we'll release the arms down. You can shake them out if you need to. I'll face you. And then we'll take the opposite side. So right foot is stepping over the left leg, or again, just taking a cross-legged position. Extending through the right arm, wrapping that left arm around, bending the elbow, palm faces up the spine. Then bending the right elbow down. And fingertips may or may not meet. Maybe you're using a strap or some other prop to give you a bit more length so that the arms can meet with that prop. Maybe your hands are just in fists on the back. And maybe you're pressing the back of the head just gently into the crease of that right elbow. So this is definitely going to lift the heart space up. That's great. But just counter that a little bit by drawing the front ribs in toward the spine. And breathe here. Soften the grip of the hands. Soften the muscles of the face. Good. One more in-breath here, and as you exhale, slowly release. Let the arms come down. You can shake them out. Maybe roll the shoulders back and then forward. And then we'll meet in a tabletop position. So just remembering our foundation here. Arms are shoulder width apart, fingers spreading nice and wide, pressing into the inner edge of the palms. Knees are hip width apart. Knees are energetically squeezing toward one another so we can feel those inner thighs engage. Toes can be tucked or flat down. And then we draw the core toward the spine. So engaged here in tabletop. Activating our core now, the other aspect that's going to be important as we move into a lot of shoulder positions in our practice. We'll extend the left arm straight out in front of us. Extend through the fingers and then plug that shoulder in. Good. And then maybe you extend the right leg straight back behind you and breathe for 3 breaths here. Good. Dropping the hand down, dropping the knee down, and coming back to our table. Feeling the weight equal from left to right, from front to back. Good. Draw the shoulders down the back, draw the core toward the spine, and extend the right arm straight out in front of you. Reach through the fingertips and then plug the shoulder blade in. So you really feel strong contact there. You feel steady. You don't feel like someone could just pull your arm out of the socket. And then we'll extend through the left heel, pressing through the heel like you're going to kick into the back wall, and you'll feel the front of your hip stretch. Find that length and then plug that leg into the hip socket, same way you did with the arm. So we're drawing in toward the core of the body. Good. One more breath here. And then drop the hand down, the knee down. And if you'd like to, take a child's pose, stretch it out. Good work. And we're going to grab the blocks, and this is the part where you might want a ledge or a piece of furniture that's really stable, as we're going to work a little deeper into these shoulders. So we're staying on the knees like this. You might want to tuck the toes because we'll be leaning back just a little bit. And we're going to place our elbows where our hands were. So make sure you're on the center of the block so they're not flipping on you. And then you can just let the forearms rest down. So the arms are shoulder width apart here. And then we're going to take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, you can begin to lean back just a little bit. Good. And for a deeper stretch here, you can bring the hands together in prayer pose and lean a little bit further back. Good. And once you find a nice stretch, leaning back, you can begin to let the upper spine melt. Let the heart melt down toward the mat. Maybe the head rests on the mat. So just taking it step by step, breath by breath. And staying here for a couple more breaths. And if you're like, that's not going to work for me, no problem. You can just sit on the knees here, take the right arm up, bend the elbow, grab with the left, and just hold here. Get that same stretch through the triceps and the back of the arm. And hold for a couple of breaths, and then you can switch opposite side. And breathing here, sitting up nice and tall, drawing the ribs in. Good. So just finding the option that works best for you today. And then as you're ready, slowly coming out of that, walking the hands back, setting the blocks aside. So palms are back in tabletop, and then we'll walk the knees back just a step or two, tucking the toes and pressing up and back into our first down dog. Good. So just notice, compared to your regular practice, how the shoulders feel in this down dog. Mine feel a lot less stiff. They feel like juicy and warmed up. So hopefully you notice a bit of a difference here. And just checking in with your down dog now. So palms are pressing firmly into the mat. Heels are moving down. Hips are lifting up toward the sky. Good. And then just working, because we're focusing on the shoulders today, working on drawing those outer elbows in. So we're pulling the shoulder blades away from each other on the back. And then drawing the heart toward the back. So the back almost feels like it rounds a little bit. Good. Keeping this engagement on an inhale, roll forward into plank. Good. Pause here, drawing the shoulder blades away from the ears. One in breath, and then as you exhale, lift the hips and press back, down dog. Good. Inhale, rolling forward into plank, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, drawing the navel toward the spine. And as you exhale, lift the hips and press up and back, down dog. Good. Now check in and make sure that those outer elbows are still twisting inward. Shoulder blades are moving away from each other on the back. We'll do one more rolling motion forward, plank pose. And as you exhale, lift the hips, press back, down dog. Good. Keep drawing the navel toward the spine. Arms are nice and strong. Legs are actively engaged. And the neck is soft. You can shake the head, yes, no. Good. Then inhale, look forward and drop down to the knees. So we're back in a tabletop position. We're just going to begin to work on the aspects of chaturanga, okay? So we're going to start with plank here. And you've noticed if you've taken some of my other classes, we sometimes do knees, then chest, then chin instead of a full vinyasa. So this is one way that we can begin to work with the shoulders, work on strengthening the shoulders. So we inhale, lengthen through the spine, and the shoulders are going to come just slightly over the wrists. Exhale, you bend the elbows straight back behind you. So not out to the sides, but straight back. And the heart comes through the arms. So that's chest. And just hold here for a minute. It's active. It's a lot of work. Okay? And then drop the chin. Good. Extend out through the legs. Press the palms back toward the back of the mat, like you're trying to slide them. And then inhale, cobra, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, press up, tabletop. Whew. Ready? Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Excuse me. Exhale, bend the elbows. Allow the heart to melt through the hands. Drop the chin. Good. Extend through the legs. Press the palms of the hands back and inhale, cobra. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, press up and back, tabletop. Okay, one more. Inhale, extend through the spine. Exhale, bend the elbows, drop the chest, drop the chin, press through the legs, tops of the toes flat, elbows pressing back, inhaling cobra. And just notice this action. When you press the palms back, when you slide them back, you can really get more lift in the chest. So inhale here and exhale, press up and back into tabletop. Let's just take a child's pose here. Stretch it out. Good. Let the arms hang loose if they don't already feel like limp noodles. Good. And then we'll come back to tabletop, okay? Now we're building on from here. So if you want to stay here and just work this action, you can, okay? Otherwise, we're going to come into plank. So toes are spreading, palms are spreading, the outer elbows are drawing in, creases of the wrists are parallel to the front edge of the mat. We've got equal weight from front to back. Core is drawing up and in. So notice that my back it doesn't look completely flat, right? There's a bit of a round of drawing up. Good. Now from here, we're going to take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, slowly lower down. You can let the stomach and the chest touch, but keep the thighs lifted up. Good. Take a breath here, inhaling. And as you exhale, keeping everything squeezing in toward the midline, press up. Woo. Okay. 2 more of those. So inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, slowly lower down, shoulders stay back, lower. Good, take a breath in here. Everything hugs toward the midline, and exhale, press up. Okay, let's do one more. Inhale, extend through the spine, draw the navel up and in. Exhale, lower, lower, lower. Chest is down, thighs are up. Everything squeezing toward the midline, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Take an in-breath and exhale, press up. Good, and take a child's pose. Whew. I don't know if that ever gets easy. All right. Placing the hands, walking the knees back, and coming up into a down dog. Settling in here. And again, just drawing the attention to the shoulders. Can you draw the shoulder blades away from one another on the back? Can you draw the outer elbows inward? Press through the hands. Spread through the feet. Lift the hips. Good. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the front of the mat. Feet are hip width apart and fold. And just hang out here for a brief moment, catching your breath, letting the belly soften onto the thighs. And maybe you grab opposite elbows and just sway from side to side. Good. Bringing the hands to the shins. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen through the full spine. And exhale, fold. Staying rooted in all 4 corners of the feet. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And exhale, you can either spread the hands down through the energy field or draw them straight down to heart center. Good. So from here, we are going to move into Sun Salutation A. So oftentimes we move into this posture or this series of postures right away at the beginning of our practice. But today we actually worked on a lot of fundamentals that built up all the things that need to be activated to really get the full juice out of a sun salutation, to really get that full sun, vital, energetic energy, that warming energy. So grounding into all four corners of the feet, energetically drawing the feet toward one another so the inner lines of the legs activate. Tucking the tailbone just a bit, drawing the navel toward the spine, and just continue to feel this, to carry this energy up, up, up. As we inhale, extend through the arms, look up. Exhale, sweep the hands down, fold. Inhale, come up halfway, hands on the floor or to shins. Exhale, place the hands and step back, plank. Now stay here in plank or drop the knees down. Remember, you can do knees, chest, chin, or plank to chaturanga. So taking your option, take an in-breath here, draw the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, bend the elbows, send them straight back, lower, lower, lower. Pause here, pause just an inch above the ground for one breath, and exhale, lower. Tuck the toes, so pressing through the toes, lengthening through the lower body. Elbows draw back as we inhale, cobra. And exhale, press up and back, down dog. 3 breaths here. Let that steady, let that buzzing, tingling energy integrate. Good. And inhale, look forward, and exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat and fold. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Keeping a gentle bend in the knees, pressing through the heels. Inhale, reach up, lengthen up, and exhale, hands to heart center or down by the sides. 2 more, just like that, okay? Inhale, lengthen, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, place the hands firmly and step back, plank pose. Drop the knees or stay here in plank. Take an in-breath, and as you exhale, bend the elbows, send the chest forward, lower, lower. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back. Take a breath here and lower all the way down onto the stomach. Press through the toes, keep drawing those elbows back. Inhale, lifting into cobra. Good. Keeping that action of pressing through the palms so you can really lift the heart. And then exhale, press up and back into down dog. 3 breaths. Rest, reset. If you'd like to drop down to child's pose, go ahead. And 3. Inhaling, looking forward, lifting onto the tiptoes, bending the knees, and exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat and fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Staying rooted in the feet. Inhale, rise all the way to standing, reach up, and exhale, hands down. Last one. Inhale, reach up, lengthen up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plank. Take an inhale here to prepare. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, send them straight back. Shoulders roll down the back, and we lower slowly. Hold for just a breath, an inch above the ground. And exhale, lower onto the belly. Press through the toes. Press the palms back, and inhale, lift the heart. Cobra. Exhale, press up and back. Down dog. 3 breaths here. And if you'd like to sigh it out, go ahead. Releasing the effort and resting in the residue of that flow. letting the head hang nice and heavy, keeping the gaze between the legs. Good. On an inhale, look forward, and exhale, slowly walk your feet to the front of the mat and take a seat. So I'm going to face you. You can stay facing toward the front of your mat, and we're going to come into Paschimottanasana. So legs are extended straight out in front of us, and we'll do Dandasana first just to set up. Palms are coming down right by the hips. They may or may not reach. It really depends on the proportions of your body. So maybe you've got some blocks beside you to help you reach, rolling the shoulder blades down, lifting the heart, drawing the chin toward the chest, and keeping the legs really active here, squeezing them toward one another. 5 breaths. Good. And then releasing the blocks to the sides. Have the strap ready. Inhale, extend through the arms, and exhale, fold forward. So just notice where your arms naturally land. Maybe your hands are going to come to the shins. Maybe you're going to use a strap and wrap it around right under the balls of the feet. And it just gives you more length in the arms to fold forward. Good. If you need to bend the knees, if the hamstrings are a little too tight here, that is more than fine. Go ahead and bring a bend into the knees. 2 more breaths. Good. Keeping the spine long as you inhale, slowly roll up to seated. Releasing the strap. We'll do one more seated posture. So bending the right knee, letting it come out to the side. Right foot is hugging in to the left thigh, so like they're magnetically attracted together. And then we'll inhale, lengthen through the spine, twist ever so slightly over the left shin and fold. Janu Shirshasana. And same thing here. The hands might land to the outside of the shins. Maybe you've got the strap helping you out to fold forward. Good. On your next inhale, slowly coming up and switching sides. So bending that left knee, letting it open, extending through the right leg. And that foot may not come all the way up toward the pelvis. You may need it to be a little bit further down. That's perfectly fine. Just don't press into the knee. So if you can go right above the knee or take a little space from the knee. And then gently twisting so we're centered over the right leg. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. And give yourself 5 breaths here. With each inhale, lengthen from the sacrum out through the crown of the head. And with each exhale, surrender the heart. Good. Keeping that rhythm. Elbows lifting, shoulder blades drawing down the back. Inhale, look up, and exhale, come back to seated. Good. Now, coming to the front of our mat, we'll take one more posture before our resting pose. So feet are planted hip width apart, and then we slowly roll down onto our flat back. Good. Letting the spine and the lower back settle. Walking the feet closer to the glutes here, keeping them hip width apart, and then planting the feet. Good. And if you can, if you have a block or a firm pillow, or those are about the only options that'll be best here, go ahead and plant the forearms down, draw the shoulder blades underneath you, and on an inhale, begin to move the knees toward the front of the mat so the lower back lifts slightly. We're going to take the block. So there's 3 heights. This is the lowest height. I recommend this height, the second height, and slide that right under the sacrum. And just letting that get nice and steady. And then just release your weight onto the block. Feeling that nice opening in the hips and the pelvic area. Hopefully feeling a nice release in the low back. Just a couple of breaths here. Good. On your next inhale, slowly lift. Slide the block out from underneath you, and exhale, slowly rolling down. And everybody will meet here, hugging the knees into the chest. You can gently rock from side to side. Good. And then just pause and tune in. Go ahead and ask your body if it needs any final postures, tweaks, movements, adjustments before you come into your final resting posture. And when you feel ready, you can extend the arms down, palms facing up, extending one leg and then the other. Go ahead and take the feet nice and wide so the hips can open up. Feet flay out to the side. Begin to tune in to the rhythm of the breath. And just envisioning a warm honey-like substance pouring down onto the crown of the head, washing over the muscles of the face, allowing them to melt and soften down the neck and the throat. Good, moving down the back and chest, surrounding the shoulders, holding them, allowing them to melt and soften. Letting it drip down the arms, down the wrists, down the hands and out the fingertips. Whole arms heavy, soft, melted. Continuing to allow this warm honey move down through the belly, down through the mid-back, down the hips and pelvis, down the sacrum and the glutes, surrounding the hips, moving down the legs, inner thighs, outer legs, knees, calves, shins, ankles, fronts of the feet, backs of the feet, and out through the toes. Now just feeling a clearing white light moving down through the whole body, about 3 feet to each side. Big wide space moving down, clearing out any remaining tension, any knotted energy, any intrusive thinking. Just clearing it all out, absorbing it, taking it from you. And as it moves through like a broom, you begin to feel lighter, more spacious, and held. Taking a few breaths into this deep sense of contentment. And drawing your awareness back to the surface. Keeping the eyes closed, becoming aware of your surroundings. Just checking in once again, noticing how the body feels, what sensations are present, what qualities are present or predominant in the mind, and if there are any emotional waves moving through. not judging it or needing it to be different, just awareness. And keeping this awareness with you, you can begin to stretch through the body. And when you feel ready, roll to your right side and pause here, resting the head on the right arm, keeping the body heavy. Final few breaths to integrate the practice. And then pressing into the arms, keeping the head heavy, keeping the gaze turned down, and making your way to a seated position at the front of your mat. And take a moment to put a blanket underneath your glutes if you'd like, or pad the knees. And then just ground into the sit bones, lengthen through the spine, keeping that crystal clear awareness as you draw the thumbs into your heart center. Bowing to this inner wisdom that's permeating every cell of the body, every cell of our whole energy field. Infusing each space that we step into with this clear, pure energy. Continuing to carry this inner light off of the mat and into the rest of our practice, which is our everyday life. Continuing to keep this inner illumination alive. And I bow to you, I bow to your practice, and I thank you so much for joining me in this community. I look forward to practicing with you again. If you're interested in other aspects of the practice like breath and meditation, there is a series available on the channel. So just go ahead and search for breathwork and meditation and you'll find all the classes there. We'd love to have you join us. If you like this class, go ahead and please like it and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you never miss a new class or a new series that we begin. And if there's anything that you're currently working on in your practice that you would love some support on, if you'd like a particular practice, one that, for example, doesn't use the arms, if you've got a broken arm that's healing, or doesn't use the lower body, or one that you can do sitting in a chair, or one that's specific to feeling really anxious or feeling really sad, anything, send it my way, please. I'll leave my email in the comments below and you can reach out to me personally if you don't want to leave it in the comments. Please continue to practice in whatever shape or form that takes for you, and I will see you again soon.